Hello. Hello. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to everyone. Today's topic is electroconvulsive therapy, that is ECT. Can you hear me? So, Quincy, what is ECT?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, very good afternoon. So, today we are going to discuss about the ECT. So, hope last class we heard this one, ECT, electroconvulsive therapy, regarding to treat the schizophrenia. Today we are going to see detail about the ECT. What is ECT? What is the types of ECT? And what are the stages of ECT for to whom we can able to give the ECT? What is that indications and duration of therapy, mechanism of action, side effects, etc. Okay. So first of all, we'll see about the introduction of electroconvulsive therapy. Also, we call it as ECT. In brief history, Von Medina in 1934 used 25% of camphor in oil intramuscularly to produce convulsions for the first time for therapeutic purposes. Later, he used pentylenetrozole, that is metrozole, for the same purpose. See, in 1934, Von Medina, okay, he used 25% of camphor in normal oil, camphor in oil intramuscularly, injected intramuscularly to produce convulsions for the first time for therapeutic purposes. Later, he used plenty of phenylenetrozole, that is metrozole, for the same purpose. As much safer from and convulsive therapy was used by Clarity and Binney in 1938. See, it is a electroconvulsive therapy. It is a type of somatic therapy. It is introduced by Binney and Clarity in April 1938, and from 1980 onwards, ECT is being considered as unique psychiatric treatment. Binney and Clarity, they are introduced the ECT in April 1938. From 1938 and from 1980 onwards, ECT is being considered as unique psychiatric treatment. Before that, who is started this ECT? Von Medina in 1934. He used 25% of camphor in oil intramuscularly to produce convulsions for the first time. Okay, so he tried intramuscularly with the 25% of camphor with oil injected through intramuscularly to produces the convulsions for the first time for therapeutic purposes. For treatment purposes, he produces to produce that convulsions. He injected the 25% of camphor in the oil through the intramuscular. That is in 1934. That psychiatrist name is Von Medina. Okay. After that, Binney and Cerletti in 1938 April, they introduced it is a type of somatic treatment. From 1938 and from 1980 onwards, ECT is being considered as unique psychiatric treatment. and it is the artificial induction of a grand mal seizure through the application of electrical current to the brain. See, it is the artificial induction of grand mal seizure. Seizure is nothing but a convulsions or fits. It is the artificial induction of a grand mal seizure through the application of electrical current to the brain. So just here we are going to apply the electrical current to the brain to get the seizures. And it is one of the artificial method. The stimulus is applied through electrodes that are placed either bilaterally in front temporal region or unilaterally on the dominant side. This is the sides of the ECT, where we are going to apply the electrodes. That is, the stimulus is applied to electrodes that are placed either bilaterally, both sides in the front temporal region, where the temporal bone and frontal bone is going to fuse. That temporal region, front temporal region, in case of bilaterally, two sides we are applying means, or unilaterally, one side means on the non-dominant side, single side, same only on the non-dominant side. Usually you can prefer the right side. So what are the types of, what are the sides of ECT? Bilaterally in the front temporal region, or unilaterally on the dominant sides. We'll see parameters of electrical current applied. Parameters of electrical current applied. How much current we have to apply during the procedure. Okay. The standard dose according to American Psychiatric Association in 1978, according to the APA, American Psychiatric Association, 1978. The first one, the voltage is 70 to 120 volts. The voltage is 70 to 120 volts, and the duration is 0.7 to 1.5 seconds. See, voltage is 70 to 120 volts and duration is 0.7 to 1.5 seconds. So this is the parameters of electrical current applied. How much current we can able to apply, that is voltage 70 to 120 volts and duration is 0.7 to 1.5 seconds, according to the AP, American Psychiatric Association, by 1978. Next we'll see types of seizures. Types of seizures produced. See, there are two types. Grand mal seizure, that is tonic phase lasting for 10 to 15 seconds. Grand mal seizure, there are two types of seizure. Grand mal seizure, tonic phase lasting for 10 to 15 seconds and clonic phase lasting for 30 to 60 seconds. See, two types of seizures they can produce, that is grand mal seizure and clonic phase. Grand mal seizure, tonic phase lasting for 10 to 15 seconds, and clonic phase lasting for 30 to 60 seconds. Now we'll see the types of ECT. Types of ECT. ECT is divided into direct ECT. That means you can note down direct ECT and modified ECT. Direct ECT, in this ECT is given in the absence of anesthesia and muscular relaxation. This is the commonly used method now. See, direct ECT without applying of anesthesia and muscular relaxation. Any injections without administering, that is anesthesia and muscular relaxation, directly they are going to apply the ECT. In this ECT is given the absence of anesthesia and muscular relaxations. Nowadays we are not preferring this method. Second one type is modified ECT. Here ECT is modified by induced muscular relaxation and general anesthesia. See, direct ECT, absence of anesthesia and muscular relaxation. modified ECT, presence of the anesthesia and muscular relaxations. There are two types. ECT has divided into two types: direct ECT and modified ECT. Direct ECT will be performed without the administration of anesthesia and muscular relaxation. Here, modified ECT will be performed with the administration of anesthesia and muscular relaxations. Next, frequency. Up to how much time we can give the ECT. Frequency and total number of ECT. First, frequency 3 times per week are indicated as according to the doctor's prescription. Frequently we can use the 3 times per week are as indicated. Next, total number 6 to 10 up to 25 may be performed as indicated based on the description from the psychiatrist. Up 6 to 10 or up to 25 may be performed as indicated by the psychiatrist. Next, application of electrodes. How we are going to apply the electrodes? See, it is considered as a bilateral ECT and unilateral ECT. Before itself, we have discussed what is bilateral and what is unilateral. Bilateral means both sides we are going to apply the ECT. Unilateral is only one side. See, bilateral is the standard form of ECT most commonly used. It is the standard form of ECT most commonly used. Each electrode placed 2.5 to 4 centimeter, 2.5 to 4 centimeter, that is 1 to 1.5 inch above the midpoint on a line joining the tragus of the ear and lateral canthus of the eye. See, bilateral ECT, bilateral ECT. This is the standard form of ECT commonly used. Each electrode is placed 2.5 to 4 centimeter above the midpoint and lining joining the tragus of the ear and lateral canthus of the eye. Next, second one is unilateral ECT. Unilateral ECT, the electrodes are placed only one side of head, usually non-dominant side. See, unilateral, only one side we are going to apply the electrodes. That is, electrodes are placed only one side of head, usually non-dominant side. Unilateral ECT is safer with much fewer side effects, particularly those of memory impairment. Who is having memory impairment? For that people's usually unilateral ECT is going to perform. Next, what are the indications? Indications. First one, to what type of disease conditions ECT can perform. First one is major depressions. Major depression with suicidal risk, poor intake of food and fluid, and unsatisfactory response to the drugs are having serious side effects. So, what type of disease conditions we may perform the ECT? That is major depression with suicidal risk, poor intake of food and fluid, and unsatisfactory response to the drugs are having serious side effects. Serious side effects and severe catatonic functional, okay, with stupor, unsatisfactory response to the drugs and poor intake of food and fluid. Severe catatonic functional with stupor, unsatisfactory response to the drugs and poor intake of food and fluid. And severe side, that is schizophrenia and mania. Yesterday we have discussed regarding schizophrenia. So why we are taking today ECT means it is one of the treatment method for psychiatric disorders, especially schizophrenia, mania, depressions and all. So severe psychosis, that is schizophrenia and mania with risk of suicide, homicide, or danger of physical assault and unsatisfactory response to the drugs. And another indication is organic mental disorders. Organic mental disorders, that is organic mood disorders and organic psychosis. So in case of mood disorders also, sometimes we prefer the ECT. Next we'll see contraindications. Contraindications: absolute raised ICP, that is increases in the intracranial pressures, relative cerebral aneurysm, cerebral hemorrhage, brain tumor, acute myocardial infarction, congestive heart failure, pneumonia, and retinal detachment. Now we'll see what is absolute. The only absolute contraindication is the presence of raised intracranial tensions. However, the 88 task force report on ECT recognized this is two as a relative contraindications. Absolute contraindication is the presence of raised intracranial tensions. Next, relative. This includes recent myocardial infarctions, severe hypertension, cerebrovascular accident, cerebrovascular accident, severe pulmonary diseases, retinal detachments, and pheochromocytoma. Pheochromocytoma. These are the disease conditions which comes under the relative. Cerebral aneurysm and cerebral hemorrhage. Brain disorders, hemorrhage, clotting in the brain, cerebrum. Brain tumors, cancers of tumor, acute myocardial infarctions, congestive heart failure, pneumonia, retinal detachment. For all these conditions, we can, so due to the ECT, all these type of disease conditions may occur to the person, occur to the patient. Next is complications of ECT. Complications of ECT. First one, life-threatening complications of ECT are rare, but ECT does not cause any brain damage. Fractures can occur sometimes in elderly patients with osteoporosis. Osteoporosis, that is the breakdown of bone cells. Osteoporosis, degeneration of the bone cells, the bone marrows. See, why fractures will occur means while performing the ECT, at that time we are going to knot the patients. So due to that knotting restraints, the patient, when applying the shock to the patient, at the time patients will get the more movements. Due to that, he will get the fractures. Particularly, why for the elderly patient means the elderly patients osteoporosis, that is the bone cells, degeneration of the bone cells in the bone marrow. They are going to lose the strength in bone cells. In patients with history of heart disease, dysarrhythmias and respiratory arrest may occur. Sometimes heart disease, in case of history of heart disease conditions and respiratory disease conditions, sometimes they will get the dysarrhythmias and respiratory arrest. Respiratory attack may consist sometimes. Next is side effects of ECT. So what type of side effects we can see in the ECT cases after the ECT? Memory impairment, that is imbalance of memory. They will going to forget, changes in the memory, drowsiness, confusion and restless, poor concentrations, anxiety, headache, weakness, fatigue, backache and muscle ache, dryness of mouth, nausea and vomiting, unsteady gait, tongue bite and incontinence. These are the side effects you can see after the ECT treatment. Next, what is ECT team? ECT team consists a psychiatrist, anesthetist, trained nurse, and aides should be involved in the administration of ECT. Okay, so this is the ECT team. Overall, psychiatrist, anesthesiologist, trained nurse, and aides. Aides is nothing but a health workers. Okay, trained nurse and aides should be involved in the administration of ECT. Next is treatment facilities. Next heading is treatment facilities. So treatment facilities, a pleasant, comfortable waiting room. Pleasant, comfortable waiting room, that is pre-ECT room. That is ECT room which should be equipped with ECT machine and accessories, and anesthetic appliance, suction apparatus, face masks, oxygen cylinders, tongue depressors, mouth gags, and emergency drugs. See, ECT is going to divide it into 3 stages: pre, intra, and post. In pre, just we are going to make the patient in the comfortable waiting room, pre-ECT room. Second one is ECT room. ECT room which should be equipped with ECT machine and accessories, an anesthetic appliance, suction apparatus, face masks, oxygen cylinders, tongue depressors, mouth gags, and emergency drugs. A well-equipped recovery room. See, this type of all the apparatus and instruments should be kept in the ECT room. The role of the nurse, pre-operative care, that is a detailed medical and psychiatric history, including the history of allergies. So nurse has to take the detailed medical and psychiatric history, including history of allergies, any type of allergic drugs, and assess the baseline vital signs. Check the vital signs. Patient should be an empty stomach for 4 to 6 hours prior to ECT. Nil per oral before 4 to 6 hours prior to ECT. Stomach should be empty. Assessment of patients and family knowledge of indications, side effects, therapeutic effects, and risk associated with ECT. See, assessment of patients and family knowledge of indications. We have to explain to the family members regarding the ECT, its indications, side effects, therapeutic effects, and risk associated with ECT. And the nurse should make sure that ECT room should be equipped with all the needed things. Before conducting the ECG, the nurse should be observe that ECT room should be well equipped with all needed things, and stop all the medications before ECT. You have to stop the medications before ECT, and heat shopping in the morning, since oil causes impedance of passage of electricity to brain. Heat shopping in the morning, since oil causes impedance of passage of electricity to brain, and remove all kind of jewelry, prostheses, and dentures, contact lens, and tight clothing to avoid the patient's discomfort. And empty bladder and bowel just before ECT. Before ECT, empty the bladder and bowel just before ECT. Administration of 0.6 mg atropine IM or subcutaneously 30 minutes before ECT, or IV just before ECT. This is the pre-operative care before going to start the ECT. Next, intraoperative care during the procedure. What is the responsibility of the nurse? Place the patient on the ECT table in supine position. In supine position, we have to allow the patient to lie on the bed. Stay with patient to reduce fear and anxiety. We have to stay with the patient to reduce the fear and anxiety. Assist in administration of anesthetic agent. Assist in administration of anesthetic agent. While administration of anesthesia, at that time we have to assist and check the patient's airway. Airway clearance has to check. Mouth gag should be inserted to prevent tongue bite. Inside the mouth, we have to give the mouth gags to prevent the tongue bites. And place of electrode placement should be cleaned with normal saline. Either unilateral or bilateral, we have to clean the place of electrode placement should be clean with normal saline. Monitor voltage, intensity, and duration of electrical stimulus given. Monitor voltage, intensity, and duration of electrical stimulus given. Oxygen should be provided during seizures. Monitor vital signs, ECG, oxygen saturation, etc. during the seizure. If any seizures will occur during at that time, we have during seizure monitor vital signs, ECG, oxygen saturation, etc. and record the findings and medications given in the patient's chart. We have to record the findings and medications. What are the results and medications which are conducted during the ECT. Next is post-operative care. So after the ECT, monitor vital signs, continue oxygen still, spontaneous respiration starts, assess for post confusion and restlessness. See, monitor vital signs. Before the ECT or three times we have to check the vital signs and we have to record. Just we have to see any differences or any changes in the vital signs. Continue oxygen still, spontaneous respiration starts. Still we have to continue the oxygenation up to spontaneous respiration starts. Natural up to the natural respiration starts. Assess for post confusion and restlessness. We have to identify either a person is having any post confusion after getting the treatment, he is having any confusion and restlessness, and take safety precautions to prevent injury. Example, side rails. Okay, we have to take the safety precautions to prevent injury from the side rails and all. If there is severe post confusion and restlessness, IV diazepam may be administered. If patient found any severe post confusion and restlessness, at that time we have to administer the diazepam and stay with patient until fully oriented. So stay with the patient until he get oriented and document any findings as relevant in the patients and records. So this is about the ECT